Okay, folks, Andrew Boltbros here. Well, we got to talk about the Denver Broncos and the Los Angeles Chargers. Pretty interesting situation going into this matchup. And I'm going to talk quite a bit about how our teams are actually quite similar at this moment, right? So it's going to be pretty interesting. I mean, this is where the experts pick us at this moment right now. And right now, the Chargers are favored to win slightly. But a lot to break down here, guys. I mean, I think there's a lot we could look at, and it's going to be a close one. So, as always,
Bull Bros.
okay, folks, as always, like and subscribe if you do enjoy the content. I'm Andrew Boltbros. You all know this. As we have always discussed on this channel, we want to give you kind of an objective look at everything as well, too, right? Again, the Chargers have looked good defensively, looked very poor offensively, which is a little bit of a shock at this moment. We'll talk about some things that I think need to change for this game specifically with the Broncos. This is also a little precursor to our live video that we'll do tomorrow as well, talking about the game. But also, as you're seeing here, the experts are picking the Chargers to win. I mean, slightly, right? So, I mean, this is pretty much a toss-up. But at the end of the day, two good defenses going against each other right now. And again, a rookie quarterback in Nix. And so obviously Justin Herbert has not done great thus far. We'll talk more about that here in a second. But let's just review the injury report. And this is the injury report from Thursday. I'm filming this on Friday. The good news is, I would just say this: anyone who's full, they are going to play, right? So let's not worry about that. Let's just talk about the people that did not practice. Do not expect Joey Bosa to play. We'll review this again also on Saturday. We'll give you the final update at that point. Gus Edwards, I do not expect Gus Edwards to play, guys. A lot of people talked about him. I think he's been dealing with this ankle for a lot longer than we know. And I'm a little surprised they kept putting him out there if he had an ankle injury. And I think, again, these players are all playing with some sort of injury, right? I mean, even if they're not on the injury report, they're still banged up. Good example, Hayden Hurst, he had that hip injury from preseason. And then, obviously he's got an Achilles going on right now, which is kind of crazy, right? So you got to ask yourself this question. We all know Justin Herbert will be playing. Again, he's limited. He is going to play. Going back to Gus Edwards briefly, I think the interesting thing about Gus Edwards, a lot of people keep talking about why not bring in Kamani Vidal. The thing about Kamani Vidal is that you don't know how well he's doing in pass protection. It's one of the things that I get concerned with, right? You remember Isaiah Spiller. Isaiah Spiller did not get a lot of snaps, largely because he was very bad at pass protection. So when you ask yourself this question, is Kamani ready? We don't quite know. He's a smaller guy. And, Gus Edwards, is a very good pass pro running back. So there may be some conversations around that. So we'll have to see. We'll give you more of an update on the running back situation on our live tomorrow. Again, we're getting Derwin James back. Hayden Hurst, as we all know, has been a little beat up. Dean Leonard's kind of a bummer because he's limited. I suspect he'll play. He's had a hamstring, but usually when you see limited, that usually means you're probably pretty good, right? You got 2 more full days of most likely coming in, maybe another workout today, and then you got Saturday to rest, and then you got Sunday. So I feel pretty good about all that. And the other one is Rashawn Slater. I do suspect Rashawn Slater will play. Do also think Joe Alt will play as well too. So look, this is good. I mean, this is good news. I mean, I think some of these injuries, this was a good bye week for us. That we get our 2 tackles back, most likely. I mean, let's cross our fingers. Rashawn Slater would be great. But again, it's one of those things you sit back and ask yourself this question. Oh, the other person too, we're coming back, is Nick Niemann. I wanted to talk about him. Nick Niemann is a very good special teams linebacker, and he's incredible, right? So, arguably one of the best special teams players we had all for the past couple of years. So, getting him back is big, right? And the other thing too is you have to remember also, Dean Leonard is one of our gunners, right? So, he's important, right? Yeah, yes, he's a cornerback as a defensive back also, but he's also very pivotal in special teams. So it's nice to see this, right? This does not look that bad, right? Unfortunately, Jasir Taylor is out, but most likely you'll see Tarheeb still in, and Tarheeb looked great. I watched the film on him again. I do need to get some more videos out for you guys for the Chiefs, Chargers wrap up, but the shorts. But Tarheeb looked good as a rookie, so I'm excited to see what he can do. Now, I'll just say this. One of the things I'll say about Joe Ortiz, I've done a couple of videos on free agent targets we might go after. Guys, one of the things I'm going to say moving forward is Joe Ortiz and Jim Harbaugh, they want to get the best possible players available, right? Whether it's on offense or the defensive side of the ball. They're not going to say, well, our offense is struggling. Let's just focus on the offense. No, they still don't care about that. They want the best available player. If you can get them at a good price, they're going to go buy that person. Go buy a trade, make the trade happen. So just understand when I do these videos updating on trade candidates or free agent candidates we might go after, you're going to see offensive and defensive options, right? And because this team just wants to improve. Joe Ortiz has said that over and over again. He does not care. He wants the best available players on this team. Best 53-man roster as possible. So, yes, the defense has been great. It can still be better. So, understand that moving forward. So, let's talk a little bit about the offense, and then we'll talk about the defense. I'm going to wrap up. This will be a shorter video. I don't want it to be too long. But Justin Herbert, he is still wearing his ankle brace. This is I can't remember. It's called the something Ultra. It's actually a really interesting brace, but it's basically like a movable cast. But it's really interesting. It looks like it's taped, and then he has the brace on top of it with a sock, right? So, but it does allow him full mobility, right? Which is nice. And so, again, I do suspect we're probably going to do a lot of 12 personnel and, have a lot of max protect in there. And guys, we'll talk more about the defense of the Broncos moving forward, but we want to keep this guy healthy. Luckily, his ankle, from what we're hearing, is getting much better. It's still not 100%. I mean, this guy is clearly healing. They're doing the right things to get him up and running. But we got to keep this guy going, right? We need him to be part of our team, folks. We all know how important he is. One of the things that I'm going to say, and I'm going to talk more about this on our live tomorrow, so tune in. We got to get this guy more involved. Mark Trestman, I know he kind of looks like talking to Jim Harbaugh here. Mark Trestman is, I can't remember exact title, what he's called, but he's like the offensive coordinator assistant, something of that nature. Anyways, this guy is a passing genius, right? And so some of the things that we have done well, and again, if you look at the first drive we did against the Chiefs, it was amazing. Orbit routes. We had all kinds of man in motion. We were just moving people from one side. We had bunch routes, and then you had to put a man in motion, and you had two on both sides, and you're spreading out the defense. A lot of those things we need to go back to. I think we looked really good. I'm going to break that down more tomorrow. But those scripted plays were amazing. And we somehow went away from that. And then we started getting a little predictable against the Chiefs on the offensive side of the ball. That's why I think we struggled, right? We just did not do a good job of keeping that defense on the toes. And they could just pin their ears back and just charge downhill. And so you might argue, well, our offensive line was terrible. Yes, but I think also some of our play calling was a little predictable. And I think that was part of the problem, right? So my point in bringing up Mark Trestman is there to really get the passing game going. I do think Greg Roman became a little too predictable in his play calling. So again, we'll talk more about that on our live on Saturday. But let's talk about the offense. Pretty interesting, guys. I mean, let's get the red crayon out here right now. Here we go. Points per game, 28th. Broncos, 22nd. Pretty similar. Passing offense, not great. And this is surprising right here. I think this needs to improve for sure. The rushing offense, obviously we've done pretty well with that. Obviously this is definitely a negative for them. I think we're going to stop the run. We're going to force them to throw the ball, right? They're going to say, hey, Rook, you beat us. To me, that's how I would do this. I would go completely against the fact that he's a rookie and just blitz him. Literally just put pressure in his face. Now, he's a very good running quarterback, so you do have to keep him in the pocket. So that's going to be an interesting thing as well, too. Very similar in total offense. Third down conversions, we're a little better on that, which is kind of surprising. I didn't expect it to be that much better. But we're 31st, and they're 31st, that's dead last in the league. So that's good for us, right? So to be fair, this is a minus for them as well too. Red zone scoring, we're pretty even. Sacks allowed, which is we're actually doing pretty good, right? So we're 7th in the league. They're 5th in the league, right? So again, I don't expect there to be a lot, but we just need pressures. We need to get this rookie outside of his comfort zone a little bit, right? In turnovers, only 2, and they're 25th. They've given up 7. So I can see us getting a lot of turnovers in this game, and that's what I'm really hoping for moving forward. So let's talk about the defense as far as, what we stack up against the Broncos. This is going to be pretty interesting, guys, because check this out. We're first, they're second. Guys, that's crazy to me. And you ask yourself this question, like, wow, we're that close. We really are. And, bottom line, we've done a great job. The defense has been absolutely amazing. I expect us to make this a very low scoring game. I don't want to see that. Okay. But I don't suspect the Broncos are going to score, maybe 17 points at most, right? I think the first 1 to 20 points probably wins this game. Passing defense, 10th, which is really good. They're 5th, which is a little better, of course. Rushing defense, 6th. They're 10th, pretty good on both sides. Total defense, 5th. Third down conversions, we're good at that. 20th. They're we're okay on that. They're better than us on that for sure. So that's definitely a plus for the Broncos for sure. Red zone defense, we're 2nd. They're 3rd, right there, neck and neck. Sacks, 11. They have 19, which is really interesting. I did not expect them to have that many sacks. So that's definitely a plus on their defensive side of the ball. Takeaways, 7th. They're 6th. We're 11th. They're 6th. So pretty even matchup both ways, guys. I mean, I think bottom line, this is going to be a game that's going to come down to just a few plays, right? And that's always that way in the NFL, folks. It really is. And so at the end of the day, I think bottom line, all we have to do is play our game. Really, we also need to get Justin Herbert in the game. I think this whole handoff and run the ball all the time situation is kind of a bad look. Justin Herbert is that good of a quarterback. You need to at least start doing some spread motions. Just get the ball out of your hands quick. Find the open guy, the guy with the one-on-one route, get him the ball. And, I could see Ladd McConkey being that guy. There's a lot of things that we can do in the passing game to really open things up. I think right now, the idea of getting the run game established first and then going after the pass game, maybe you should flip it this time, get the pass game established, and then start getting the run game going. So a lot of ways of attacking this team. I think it's going to be an interesting one, guys. It's going to be a dogfight for sure. So as always, Andrew, Bolt Bros, see you guys in the next one.
Hey, what's up? Cameron Dick here watching the Bolt Bros podcast. Let's go.
Charged up, Bolt Bros on the night.